Business Unity South Africa says the country benefited to the tune of $1 billion since the inception of Agoa in the year 2000 and that these benefits must continue for job creation. Busa says South Africa's civil society, business and government must work closer to grow the benefit. Xolani Mbanjwa spoke to the CEO, Coovadia.
The 20th Agoa Forum is taking place on day 2, and there has been a lot of discussions among civil society leaders and those who are in government, business and labor. There are a lot of countries from the rest of Africa, and we heard from the President earlier just how important this gathering is. I am being joined now by Coovadia, who is the CEO at Business Unity South Africa. Mr. Coovadia, thank you very much for your time. It's quite an important gathering that we are having here, but in your view, as a leader of business in South Africa, how important has Agoa become since its establishment in 2000? For the past 23 years, what have been the benefits that we can actually see and feel?
Okay, thanks for having me. So Agoa is important. Any agreement with a major trading partner that gives South African exporters essentially preferential access to the market of that major trading partner has got to be important. So Agoa enables South African exporters to export goods and services to the United States market on a tariff-free basis, okay? So we don't pay tariffs on them. That is a significant saving. That makes our exports into the U.S. market very competitive. And in sectors like motor, agriculture, minerals and resources, chemicals and a few others, we've benefited a great deal. Okay, we've had about $2 billion worth of exports to the U.S. We've saved over $1 billion because of tariff-free exports. Some analysts say that since Agoa we've created about 375,000 jobs as a result of Agoa. So all of that is positive, and so it is in our interests to have Agoa extended for another 10 years. We are on the same page as government to advocate for an extension and to advocate for South Africa being a beneficiary of Agoa. There are 40-odd sub-Saharan African countries that are also benefiting from Agoa, and I think that we need to work together to see how we can ensure that all of the continent benefits from this. So we absolutely clear it needs to be extended. We're absolutely clear South Africa needs to be in it, and we will work with our government to negotiate its extension, to negotiate its structure and how it's reviewed, and the final decision on Agoa is taken by the U.S. Congress. So we have certainly indicated to our government that we would like to be party to, with government, to convince the U.S. Congress to extend this as well.
That also speaks to how the relationship in those respective countries between government, civil society, labor and business is. How is the relationship at the moment? How would you characterize it, that relationship as far as South Africa is concerned?
Well, look, I think the relationship between South Africa and U.S. is still a good one. There's been, and let's not run away from it, there's been problems. There's been the ADR issue. Currently, there's the Middle East issue, and we all have our views on that. But I think that we need to deal. I mean, South Africa has been very clear. For instance, that the Middle East issue is a humanitarian issue. We believe that people should not be dying, women and children should not be dying. And that's the South African government's interaction with the U.S. on those issues, right? And that's fine. What we also need to do is recognize that geopolitical issues will come up. We need to maintain a relationship through those, and certainly from South African businesses' point of view, we need to optimize our trade and investment relationships with the U.S. And so we need to manage our relationship with the U.S. Our government needs to manage it properly. From a business point of view, we would want those relationships to be managed as our government says. We are always have a position where we are for peace, we are for prosperity, we are against wars, and we are non-aligned, and we must remain that, but we must not compromise our principles and what we believe in. And I think that the governments of the two countries understand that. I think they both understand that there are benefits to both from Agoa and from ongoing broader trade and investment relationships, and we should optimize that, we should leverage off that, and we should do whatever we need to do within the context of our non-aligned positions to optimize that.
Mr. Coovadia, thank you very much for your time. That is Mr. Coovadia, who is the CEO of Business Unity South Africa, giving his views as he has been continuing with engagements here on day 2 of the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act Forum, the 20th Agoa Forum here in Johannesburg at Nasrec. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I am Xolani Mbanjwa in Johannesburg.